6:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here is the news edited by Lal Malavarachi and read by J. Yogaraj. First, the headlines. Zimbabwe against any resolution against Sri Lanka. International Book Fair at the BMICH commences today. Many programs have been organized to mark the 158th birth anniversary of Srimat Anagarika Dharmapala tomorrow. The Commissioner General of Examinations says that GCE Advanced Level and Grade 5 Scholarship Examinations will not be postponed. Monday declared as a holiday for government and government-approved private schools. News overseas, Russian leader reveals China's concern over Ukraine. In sports tennis, Roger Federer to retire after Labour Cup in September. And those are the headlines. Zimbabwe has emphasized that there is no reason to submit a report to International Human Rights Council regarding the human rights situation in Sri Lanka. Zimbabwe's permanent representative in Geneva, Stuart Herold, stated that his country will stand with Sri Lanka and oppose any move against Sri Lanka at the council. He has pointed out that the resolution against Sri Lanka has not been prepared based on the country's wishes and that it does not provide any support for the work of council regarding the promotion and protection of human rights. The representative of Zimbabwe, who has indicated that the conflict that raged Sri Lanka for more than 30 years has ended. He has stated that there is no reason to keep the relevant resolution on the agenda of the council. The Colombo International Book Fair 2022, organized by the Sri Lanka Book Publishers Association for the 23rd time, will begin today at the BMICH. The exhibition will be held from today up to 25th of this month from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. The 158th birth anniversary of Srimat Anagarika Dharmapala falls tomorrow. It will be celebrated at the Malika Kanda Mahabodhi Mahaviharya tomorrow. Many commemorative programs have been organized in this regard. Anagarika Dharmapala, born on the 17th of September 1864 and died on 26th April 1933, is best known as a major reformer and revivalist of Sinhala Buddhism and leading figure in the Sri Lankan independence movement against British rule. He founded the Mahabodhi Society in Ceylon and raised funds for the restoration of the most important Buddhist sites in Buddhagaya and Saranath, which had badly deteriorated after centuries of neglect. He was the editor of the Society's journal and became world famous as a Buddhist missionary who worked for the spread of the Buddhist Dharma in India, Europe, and America. He represented the Buddhists of South Asia at the 1893 World's Parliament of Religious in Chicago and conducted the first Vesak celebration in USA. This news comes to you from Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Commissioner General of Examinations, LMD Dharmasena, says the GCE Advanced Level Examination will commence on the 5th of December. He said the Grade 5 Scholarship Examination will be conducted on the 4th of December. He rejected the reports that these examinations would be postponed. The Commissioner General requested the students and parents not to take misled by such false reports. He further said, despite the problems of the examinations, will be conducted as scheduled. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Education says on that Monday has been declared a special holiday for government schools island-wide. September 19th has been declared as a special government holiday and a day of national mourning by the government in view of the funeral of Queen Elizabeth II. Accordingly, Monday has been declared a holiday for government schools and government-approved private schools. Food and Agriculture Organization representative for Sri Lanka and Maldives, Vimlendra Sharan, and the Ministry of Agriculture signed a memorandum of understanding yesterday regarding the beneficiary selection and distribution of fertilizer to paddy farmers in Sri Lanka. As the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, FAO, through the support of its partners, is procuring urea and triple superphosphate fertilizers to improve the production of the upcoming cultivation seasons and strengthen food security in Sri Lanka. The MOU signed provides a framework for the selection of the beneficiaries and distribution of the essential agricultural inputs for the paddy farmers in Sri Lanka through the Ministry of Agriculture. And that's local news.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Chairman of the Elections Commission Nimal G. Punchieva says although media can render an immense service to democracy, many private media is only working with their own business objectives. He pointed out it has become a challenge to democracy and to the election process. During a function in Colombo in connection with the International Democracy Day celebrations, he said the methodologies have been prepared to include the name of a voter in the voters list when he or she completes 18 years. He said that the trust in the local government institutions by the people has been lost due to the malpractices committed by their representatives. And that was top news.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Moving on to the watchlight, the Health Ministry has taken measures to implement a special program of administering the third and fourth booster vaccinations against COVID-19 throughout the country in the next few weekends. Accordingly, the vaccination program will be held on September 17th, 24th and October 1st and 8th in all regional health medical offices and hospitals throughout the island. In this vaccination program, the first and second booster doses for adults over 20 and the first and second doses for children aged 12 to 19 are administered after confirming that booster vaccinations are given. And that was Watchlight. And moving on to world news headlines. Russian leader reveals China's concern over Ukraine. Pakistan floods. Dengue cases soaring after record monsoon. Billionaire boss of fashion retailer Patagonia gives company away. And those are the headlines of the world news. Vladimir Putin has acknowledged China's concern over Ukraine in his first face-to-face talks with President Xi Jinping since the Russian invasion. But speaking in Uzbekistan, Mr. Putin also thanked China for its balanced position and said U.S. attempts to create an unipolar world would fail. Mr. Xi Jinping said China was willing to work together with Russia as great powers. China has not endorsed Russia's invasion but has grown trade and other ties with Moscow since it was launched. Pakistani health officials are warning of a looming health crisis in the country after devastating recent floods. 33 million people have been affected by the flooding, which has left nearly 1,500 dead since the middle of June. As rescue and evacuation efforts continue in parts of the country, health experts are reporting a surge in dengue, malaria and severe gastritis infections. The billionaire founder of the outdoor fashion retailer Patagonia says he has given away his company to a charitable trust. Yuan Shonard said that under a new ownership structure, any profit not reinvested in running the business would go to fighting climate change. And this will amount to around $100 million a year, he claimed. Depending on the health of the company, Patagonia sells hiking and other outdoor clothing in over 10 countries. And that was world news. And moving on to development news. The Wildlife Department says that the wild elephant population in the country has exceeded 7,000. The details were revealed following discussions held at the ministry recently. A decrease in the number of tusked elephants in Sri Lanka was also reported. The Wildlife Department also stated that the number of tuskers in Sri Lanka's forests is currently 142. And that was development news.
Sports News is brought to you by...
With many values that bind us beyond the transaction, we are Sampath Bank. We present your future.
Tennis Federer has struggled with a knee problem for the past 3 years that has restricted him to only 3 of the 11 Grand Slams staged since the start of 2020. Roger Federer, one of the greatest players of all time, will retire from top-level tennis after the Laver Cup in London this month. The 20-time Grand Slam champion has not played since Wimbledon 2021, after which he had a third knee operation. And that was sports news.
The fastest way to earn the highest interest from NSB, now extended till the 30th of September just for you. Your short-term deposits receive an attractive interest rate of 20% in 3 months and 22% in 7 months. Visit a bank branch or a main postal office today. NSB, the only bank with 100% government guarantee.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The all-share price index of the Colombo Stock Exchange crossed the 10,000 points mark yesterday. The index closed at 10,072.38 points at the end of the trading Thursday, which is an increase of 158.26 points from the previous day. Meanwhile, the S&P SL20 index closed at 3,251.21 points today, or yesterday rather, which is an increase of 71.42 points. And that was business news.
Business News, sponsored by
The fastest way to earn the highest interest from NSB, now extended till the 30th of September just for you. Your short-term deposits receive an attractive interest rate of 20% in 3 months and 22% in 7 months. Visit a bank branch or a main postal office today. NSB, the only bank with 100% government guarantee.
Economic news, courtesy of...
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
According to a new report by the International Finance Corporation, the impacts of workplace violence and harassment has led to the loss of 6 working days per employee every year, costing the 9 Sri Lankan companies surveyed at least $1.7 million. The study highlights that 3 out of every 5 people surveyed experienced some form of workplace violence or harassment, while nearly 1 out of 5 felt unsafe at workplace. And that was economic news.
LOLC Finance is taking the power of innovation to the next level, winning 5 golds at the Technovation Awards 2022, leading the digital revolution with cutting-edge interbanking digital payments. LOLC Finance claims the overall gold award, whilst also claiming an extraordinary victory in digital banking. LOLC Finance will continue to innovate with the next generation digitalization of financial services, delivering a superior customer experience.
Finally, in the weather report, the Met Department says a few showers will occur in Western and Sambrakamur provinces and in Kandy, Nuwara Eliya, Galle and Matara districts. Mainly fair weather will prevail elsewhere over the island. And that was Weather Report. And to wind up this news broadcast, let's look at the main points once again. Zimbabwe against any resolution against Sri Lanka. International Book Fair at the BMICH begins today. Many programs have been organized to mark the 158th birth anniversary of Srimat Anagarika Dharmapala tomorrow. The Commissioner General of Examinations says GCE Advanced Level and Grade 5 Scholarship examinations will not be postponed. Monday declared as a holiday for government and government-approved private schools. And with that, we conclude this morning news broadcast of Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.